So today, we're gonna test different ways to clean up oil spills and see what works best. Let's imagine this is the ocean. And this is our oil spill. So the oil and the water do not mix. The oil rises to the top. But oil spills don't just affect the water. They affect animals too. When the oil sticks to the feathers or fur of an animal, it actually makes them stick together so they can't really move or they're unable to stay warm. So today, we're gonna test different ways to clean up oil spills and see what works best. Our first method we're gonna try is scooping. So I have a spoon and our feather. So the feather falls into the water with the oil on top, and we're going to go ahead and take the feather out. But as we can see, it's covered in oil. I can scoop the oil off the top in order to further prevent other animals from being harmed. So scooping is still an effective strategy that real rescue workers use whenever we have an oil spill in the ocean. So as you can see, scooping is making a big difference. I am trapping oil. You can still see the blue water particles that are in it. But as far as the feather, our animal is still very much drenched in oil. So scooping can help protect future animals from being harmed, but we're going to need an extra step to still help the current animals that have oil on them. So let's see the next method. Our next method is called absorption. So the feather in our ocean, our oily ocean from the oil spill, we're going to take the feather out. It's covered in oil. So the absorption method states that we're going to set the feather down and we're actually gonna try and pat the oil off of the feather. So on both ends, you can see that the oil is being absorbed by the napkins. So it's for cotton balls or sponges as well. And our feather is doing a lot better than it was before. It's not dripping in oil. When you touch it, it still has that oily texture, meaning those feathers and that fur is still going to clump together, making it hard to stay warm, making it hard to move. So this could be an effective way to help the animals maybe after the scooping has taken place. But absorption is not helpful for the ocean that has the spill. However, it is beneficial to the animal itself. Let's try another method. For this one, we have a fresh start. So we have a fresh ocean. So for our next method, we need pipe cleaners. This is an example of containment. Now, containment works best whenever the oil spill had just happened. And so we are trying to contain the oil spread. So I'm going to wrap these together. So no, we're not going to have these in place before an oil spill because we don't know when an oil spill is going to happen. However, as soon as people are notified of an oil spill, if they can contain it, it reduces the amount of animals that are affected by this oil spill. So we're gonna go ahead and put our containment in and then see how it affects the feather when we place it around the outside. So we have our spill. So our containment is in, the oil keeps spilling. And as we drop a feather, the oil is staying more around the containment, allowing the feather to not fully sink, not fully get absorbed with oil. So when we pick up our feather is affected, but nowhere near as much. So our containment has actually done a decent job at holding the oil together, allowing our animal, our feather, to be way less affected. Yes, it has some oil on it, but it is nowhere near as drenched as any of the other animals in the prior examples. So containment is a really good strategy for protecting and limiting the spread of the oil. So further steps will be needed for the animals that have already been affected by the oil, but it does protect the animals in the surrounding areas from getting oil on them or getting as much oil on them. So basically this reduces the amount of harm done to the animals as well as the ocean. Now our last method you might be pretty familiar with if you have a certain pet at home. So we're gonna go ahead and add our oil spill. Now the oil is spreading, it's starting to create the layer on top because it doesn't necessarily mix. We're gonna get some sand or kitty litter. And so when we lightly pour the sand on top, what happens is it starts to collect the oil. Now, if we include our feather in this, our feather's still going to get drenched by the oil. And in fact, if we're pouring sand on top of it, we might create a bigger mess for the animal itself. So So this one might not be the best for animal sake, but it is effective for cleaning our ocean. Now, what we do is, if we take out this feather, now our poor animal just has oil and sand on it, which is not the best. We will definitely need the absorption method or actual fine cleaning, which we'll get to next. But for our sand contraption, I'm going to start cleaning it up. Now for the sand method, the oil has now collected with the sand, making it easier to scoop and clean up. So this is similar to the scooping method, except for it makes the oil heavier and easier to grab in a clump rather than just scooping little by little off the top. So you can see is reducing the oil layer on top because it is now stuck to the sand particles and gone to the bottom, making it easier for the cleanup crew to actually clean up. So one thing we really gathered through this whole experiment is that there is no quick way to clean up the ocean while helping the animals. Instead, when this oil spill actually happens in real life, professionals use multiple methods to help clean our ocean as well as our animals. It is not just a one method fits all. Now, one last thing in case you are just as worried about the animals as I am. So normally when we try to clean something, we try to clean it with water. However, because water and oil don't mix like we saw in our ocean and oil spill, when we have our animals that are covered with oil, water is not going to clean them. However, if you just add a drop of dish soap, that makes the world of a difference. Just a couple drops. And now that helps break up the oil from the water, allowing us to get our animals' feathers or fur fully clean. No oil or sand in sight. So, top things to remember, oil and water do not mix. If you really need to clean something that's covered in oil, you're going to need soap to break up those particles. When we have real life oil spills in our ocean, the professionals use different methods in order to best clean our ocean, whether that is the scooping method to get the oil off the top. The oil stays in that area, not affecting the animals on the outside, reducing harm on the outside. Then there's the absorption method for cleaning our animals' feathers or fur, which helps the animal but doesn't help the ocean so much. And lastly, the sand method, which helps clump the oil pieces together, making it easy to just pick up and move out of our ocean. But that doesn't help our animals, which is where our professionals best clean the animals by mixing some dish soap in order to break up the oil particles that are trapped onto their feathers or fur. Now, real oil spill cleanup teams use the same methods that we use today, but with different tools like booms to contain the oil spills, skewers to scoop out the oil, and absorbent materials like we use sand. So all the same methods that we tested today. Oil spills are dangerous and difficult to clean up. That is why it's so important that we protect our environment and our ocean. So talk to your friends and family. What method do you think is the most effective? And happy Earth Day.
If your students enjoyed this activity, check out the standards-aligned chemical versus physical changes video lesson at generationgenius.com.